Marx, Weber versus Durkheim. When studying society, understanding the ideas of influential thinkers like Max Weber and Emile Durkheim is essential, because their approaches to sociology shaped how we look at social life even today. Both Weber and Durkheim were concerned with understanding how societies function and why people behave the way they do, but their perspectives, methods, and conclusions were quite different. To put it simply, Durkheim was interested in how society works as a whole, focusing on structure and stability, while Weber concentrated on individual actions and meanings, emphasizing the subjective understanding of human behavior. Emile Durkheim, a French sociologist of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, is best known for studying the forces that hold society together. He believed that society exists outside individuals and has a reality of its own. According to Durkheim, social facts, such as laws, morals, beliefs, and customs, influence individual behavior in powerful ways. These social facts are external to people and can even coerce them to act in certain ways. For example, laws dictate what is acceptable in society, while religious beliefs guide moral behavior. Durkheim argued that to understand society, one must study these social facts objectively, treating them almost as things in themselves. He wanted sociology to be a science, with rigorous methods and careful observation, much like physics or biology. Durkheim also introduced the idea of social solidarity, which is the glue that binds society together. He identified two main types of solidarity: mechanical and organic. Mechanical solidarity exists in traditional societies where people share similar work, beliefs, and values, so cohesion comes from shared similarity. Organic solidarity, on the other hand, is characteristic of modern societies, where individuals perform specialized roles and interdependence creates cohesion. For Durkheim, understanding these forms of solidarity helps explain how societies maintain order and stability, even as they grow more complex. One of his most famous studies was on suicide. By carefully analyzing statistical data, Durkheim showed that suicide rates were not simply a personal or psychological matter but were influenced by social integration and regulation. For example, people who were poorly integrated into society or had too little regulation were more likely to commit suicide. This study illustrated his key principle that social forces can shape even deeply personal actions. Max Weber, a German sociologist and contemporary of Durkheim, approached sociology from a different angle. While Durkheim focused on structures and collective phenomena, Weber was more interested in understanding social action from the point of view of the individual. He introduced the concept of Verstehen, a German word meaning understanding, to describe the process of empathetically interpreting human behavior. Weber believed that to explain why people act as they do, we must understand the meanings and motives they attach to their actions. For instance, a person might work extremely hard not just for money, but because they believe in the moral value of diligence or the promise of spiritual reward. Weber argued that these subjective meanings are crucial for understanding social behavior, and that purely statistical or structural approaches, like Durkheim's, are insufficient for capturing the richness of human life. Another central aspect of Weber's work was his analysis of rationalization. He observed that modern societies are increasingly organized according to efficiency, calculation, and systematic procedures, replacing traditional ways of doing things. Bureaucracy, he noted, is a hallmark of rationalized societies, where rules, hierarchies, and specialized roles dominate. Weber appreciated the benefits of rationalization, such as predictability and efficiency, but he also warned of the iron cage of bureaucracy, where people can become trapped in rigid systems, losing freedom and creativity. Weber also analyzed the relationship between religion and the economy, famously studying how Protestant ethics influenced the development of capitalism. He argued that cultural values could shape economic behavior, showing how ideas, not just material conditions, play a role in social change. The contrast between Weber and Durkheim becomes clearer when comparing their methods and focus. Durkheim preferred a macro-level approach, analyzing society as a whole, identifying patterns, and emphasizing social structures over individual intentions. Weber, by contrast, often used a micro-level perspective, examining individual behavior, motives, and meanings, while still recognizing larger social patterns. Durkheim sought to explain social order and stability, emphasizing how societies hold together, while Weber explored social change, the complexities of modern life, and the rationalization process. Durkheim viewed society as a collective entity that shapes individuals, whereas Weber saw individuals as actors who create society through their actions and shared meanings. Despite these differences, both Weber and Durkheim contributed essential insights to sociology. Durkheim's work reminds us that society has powerful structures and forces that guide behavior, while Weber highlights that human understanding, beliefs, and motives matter when interpreting social phenomena. Today, sociologists often combine their approaches, recognizing that society influences individuals and that individuals, in turn, shape society. For example, studying a modern workplace might involve Durkheimian ideas about organizational structure, hierarchy, and social norms, as well as Weberian analysis of worker motivations, values, and the meaning they attach to their tasks. By integrating these perspectives, we gain a more complete understanding of how society functions, how it changes, and how human beings experience social life. In summary, while Emile Durkheim focused on the collective aspects of society and the objective forces that maintain social order, Max Weber emphasized individual action, meaning, and the subjective understanding of human behavior. Durkheim provides tools to analyze social cohesion and structure, while Weber offers insights into motivation, culture, and rationalization. Both perspectives are complementary, helping us understand that human behavior is shaped by both social forces and personal meanings. For anyone interested in sociology, examining the contrast and dialogue between Weber and Durkheim is not just a historical exercise, but a guide to thinking critically about how societies work, how change occurs, and how people navigate their social worlds. These two foundational thinkers continue to inform sociological research, teaching, and practical understanding of modern life, highlighting the dynamic interplay between structure and agency, society and the individual, order and meaning. If you enjoyed this explanation, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more insightful sociology content that breaks down complex theories into everyday understanding.